And you said the organization's been around 20 years, so you were in kind of the forefront of this movement, weren't you?
We were, and that when the organization was founded in 2002 as Perceptions, we operated for many years, kind of with the times. You know, it was not a very public organization. It was a little more private, a little more closed off. And that had to do a lot with the climate just generally around LGBTQ plus issues. And over time, as we continued to grow, we became a more open and visible organization and got a lot more active in the community.
So if I were to say to you, how has the perception changed over the last 20 years, and has it improved? What would you say?
I'd say yes, it has improved. We started out as a very insular organization where you kind of had to know someone to get invited to things, get connected to the community. And that was because, views on LGBTQ plus issues at the time, 20 years ago, were not what they are today. And then over the years, as we took on more initiatives and we grew as an organization, we made that change to Great Lakes Bay Pride to be a more welcoming and inclusive organization, not only to our community members, but to the community at large, and get more active across the region.
Tomorrow, for example, at the Spirit Game, it's going to be Pride Night. What do events like that and nights like that mean to the organization and to the community?
It's a great opportunity for us to collaborate with new partners, which we're doing all the time. And it's an opportunity to really highlight and put this topic front and center in front of so many folks who might not normally have that opportunity or see that opportunity. And to our community members, it shows that here's another organization that's welcoming and inclusive and really values diversity and inclusion. And, as Mitzi will talk about, hockey is for everyone. That's the message from OHL, and we're excited to be part of that.
As a matter of fact, tomorrow at the game, I'm going to talk to Rico, who is their inclusionary officer at the OHL level, as they look to include everyone in hockey. You're absolutely right. Mitzi, why have a Pride Night at the Saigon Spirit?
Well, for me personally, I'll say first, it's long overdue. Like Scott said, I think it's important to bring it into the arena. It's a whole nother set of fans that are there, or an audience. And I'm hoping some of the stigmatisms that are out there for the LGBTQ plus organization will be removed. Everybody has their own vision and their own thoughts. And I'm hoping tomorrow night will kind of broaden that vision a little bit, and more inclusivity and warm, welcoming, loving environment that we are.
We'll talk later about tickets and all that good stuff. Brad, let me ask you, you represent an organization called GLAD inside of Dow. Give us an overview of that organization. What is that all about, and how long has it been there in Dow?
Yeah, absolutely. So GLAD is what's called an employee resource group within Dow. We shorten that to ERGs, and we have 10 different ERGs within Dow. Like most of the folks on the call, I guess, we're about 20 years old. We're actually 22 years old this year. So GLAD has a pretty significant history within Dow, and it started back in 1999 with an unsigned letter to the then CEO. And that letter read, "I hope that someday I will be brave enough to sign a letter like this with my name. I also hope that in 1, 2, or 5 years, I will have seen enough progress that I will still want to give my very best to remain with Dow." So that was in 1999. Pretty much immediately, we added sexual orientation to our non-discrimination policy. So upon receipt of that letter, we did start immediately taking action. And you'll see that on both LGBTQ plus related topics, and then also other topics around Dow. We definitely take action, especially with implementation of Dow acts. So GLAD was officially established in the year 2000. And what we really try to do is we try to be a resource for our employees who may be LGBTQ plus or have LGBTQ plus family members or friends. And then we also try to focus on making community partnerships and engaging the communities in order for our Dow people to feel welcome both at work and at home. And that's one of the reasons that having these types of events in the community, public events, is so important, because it's a demonstration to our employees that you're welcome to be yourself at work, and you're also welcome to be yourself in the community, and that is helpful in retaining and attracting the best talent that is out there. So really,
Dow,
that's
yeah.
Go ahead.
Dow is well on its way to including inclusion in a lot of what it did, and now along comes Jim Fitterling, who is the highest placed gay executive in the nation. How did that change the culture of Dow? Did it?
Yeah, so I came into Dow in 2014, and early on in my Dow journey is when Jim actually publicly came out, and he publicly came out to employees in a live broadcast. And I knew Dow was LGBT friendly before I came to Dow. I wouldn't have come if it were not. But the fact that he came out and publicly told everyone that definitely, I think, changed the culture, changed my inclination a little bit to be more open, more forthcoming. So I would say definitely that has made a significant difference in the culture at Dow.
All right, everybody, hang on. I'm going to take a break. We come back, we'll chat with Vanessa a little bit. She is the mother of a transgender youth, and we very rarely hear from that perspective, but we will do that this morning as we continue our discussion with our guests here on the Art Lewis Show. And let's take time out to play Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at wsgw.com. And the word of this hour is baseball. Yep. Yesterday was opening day. Today's opening day for the Tigers. Baseball. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at wsgw.com. Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists on WSGW.
Hemlock Public School District is proud to announce they are the Innovative District of the Year in 2022. This vibrant school community offers engagement in extracurricular activities from sports, drama, fine arts, robotics, and more. Hemlock Public Schools is a leader in innovation, collaboration, and education with programs from the cradle to early middle college. Call us today at 989-642-5282. That's 642-5282 or hemlockps.com. Hemlock Public Schools, excellence in education.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SECURE to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. So text the word SECURE to 989898.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I'm Connell McShane. This is the Fox Business Report. Global markets and futures are showing signs of recovery today. Spirit has agreed to discuss the unsolicited takeover offer from JetBlue. Its board has recommended a smaller offer from Frontier, though any airline merger is facing pushback from regulators. Amazon will challenge the vote by Staten Island warehouse workers to join a union. LRB influenced the vote by the way it set up the voting periods. Amazon is objecting to the labor board's conduct. It's also accusing union organizers of threatening employees. Tesla CEO Elon Musk appeared on stage in Austin yesterday at the opening of the company's new Gigafactory. He'll also be facing Twitter employees who want to know how he might change the company culture by owning 9% of Twitter and becoming a board member. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 5/28. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up, but to cruise through someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
This should end it. Scope out. Reyes in. Scope makes the catch and the Tigers win the season opener.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to a number of guests about Great Lakes Bay Pride and the LGBTQ plus community. We have Brad Bidwell with us. He's a trademark counsel and Michigan GLAD site implementation leader at Dow. Scott Ellis is the executive director of Great Lakes Bay Pride. Mitzi Brown, the director of group sales and corporate sponsorship for the Saginaw Spirit hockey team. And she also is a Great Lake Bay Pride board member. And Vanessa is with us this morning, and she is the parent of a transgender youth. We're going to spend a few minutes talking to Vanessa. First of all, Vanessa, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to ask some questions. If they get too personal, just tell me to shut up.
Okay.
That's simple. I think to understand your position, we need to know a little bit about the youth. So at birth, biologically, a boy or a girl?
My child at birth is a girl.
Was a girl. All right. So, and may I ask how old your child is now?
My child is late teens, young adult.
Okay. So as your child is growing up, at what point do you begin to notice that maybe there's something a little different here?
I noticed at a young age, they preferred to play with toys that were boy gendered, Transformers, cars, which is no big deal. around young teenage, puberty age, they want the short hair. They wanted to wear boy clothes, clothes that were gendered towards boys. Not very feminine. Played with the boys more than the girls. So probably young. I noticed the difference in the young teenage.
And as a parent, what were your feelings at that time?
At the time, I love my child regardless. So regardless of what they were going through, so I supported them if they wanted to wear non-girl clothes or clothes that were classified as female clothes. That was fine with me. I wanted them to figure out who they were, because as a parent, I knew something was up, but I had to let them figure it out on their own.
Did you seek outside help at some point?
I did. We did counseling, just so they could not so much, more so they can figure out who they are. Reached out to Great Lakes Bay Pride, other organizations, PFLAG, just so I can get questions answered, because I wanted to know what they're going to go through. As a parent, what I'm going to go through, stuff to do the name change, stuff like that.
What's been the reaction of community, friends, and the like?
There's been a mixture. I would say that all of our family supports my child, supports what they're going through. We haven't had any negativity. There's been a couple friends of mine, even ones I grew up with, that I had to cut ties from, because my child's more important than anything in the world. And when I want people in my home, I want them to accept my child, accept our family, and accept what we believe in. So I'm very strong about, if you don't believe those things, then you're not welcome in my home or in my life, because my child is part of my life.
How far along is the transition for your child?
Yeah, my child is it's under the transgender umbrella, but they're non-binary. So we have not gone through the hormone treatments, but we're in the process of going through the name change. But they're considered non-binary, which they don't associate with a female or a male, but they're under the transgender umbrella.
Now, is that non-binary definition derived through testing?
I don't know the history of the term non-binary. Maybe Scott can answer that question. I just know that they don't associate with a female, they don't associate with a male. So
the reason I ask is because we hear these terms in the news a lot.
Yeah.
People don't understand them. Scott, can you enlighten us on that a little bit?
A little bit. So non-binary is really the just not identifying on one side. If we look at male or female as the binaries, non-binary is really that middle ground of not identifying more heavily on one side or the other, and can also not necessarily go between the two. That's more gender fluid and not all would identify that way, but they're just kind of a middle ground.
Is it a psychological definition, or is it a medical definition? And by that I mean, is there a test? Can you test hormones or what have you to make that determination?
No, that wouldn't be determined medically. There would be different levels of everything, here and there for whoever, and having more of one particular hormone doesn't put you in the binary either.
So Vanessa, your child now moves over into the male world. Have you, now that it's a lot more open in society now, have you seen changes in attitude or anything of that nature?
Yes and no. I think more people are accepting of it, but there's still some that are not.
Yeah, we've seen that in the laws that are being attempt to be passed around the country.
Yes. So I think we're getting there slowly, but I think we're getting there.
Let me throw this question out to all of you. Anyone can tackle it if they want, because one of the things in the news, obviously, not so much in the direction your youngster went, but in the direction of a male becoming a female and then competing in female sports, has been the notion that that male comes into the female world with much greater athletic ability. Should they be able to compete? What do you guys say? Mitzi, you're shaking your head. Go ahead.
I'll go first. Experiencing this from an aunt's perspective, I have a beautiful niece, and she's taught me, got me highly involved with Great Lakes Bay Pride. It has taught me everything, so I owe her so much for learning so much. But there, in a million years, every female should be able to compete with female. She has worked so hard to be her authentic self. She would never do that to take advantage to win a medal. Never. I can't say all, because that's a big encompassing thing. But for any transgender that goes through any process, hormones and all that is involved, they should compete. They should absolutely compete.
Right. I'm going to hold everybody off from answering because I got to take a quick break. We'll come back and return to that as we talk to our guests about Great Lake Pride. And tomorrow is Pride Night at the Saigon Spirit hockey game. We'll tell you more about that too, all after these notes.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
I'm Perry Johnson. Filled up your car lately? Every time you pay an extra $1 out there for your gasoline, you can thank Whitmer and Biden. So every time you go there, just think of yourself as making a donation to Russia and Saudi Arabia, because that's what's happening. And for that, you can thank Whitmer and Biden.
Granholm and Biden stopped the Keystone Pipeline. Whitmer tried to shut down Line 5 and increase gas taxes 45 cents a gallon, costing Michiganders billions at the pump. Quality guru Perry Johnson has a far better plan that lowers fuel prices and slows inflation.
We need to get rid of the sales tax on fuel and suspend the gas tax. And I won't fight the Line 5 tunnel. I'll do everything I can. Governor Whitmer, it's time for you and Biden to stop punishing Michigan families. They've got enough problems without you sucker punching their pocketbooks. Paid for by Perry Johnson for governor.
Circle up, team. We've got status.
Evelyn's marketing consultancy client roster is skyrocketing.
Okay, so this week is a biggie. We've got the pitch and 3 client meetings.
She needs another analyst before her team's free time plummets.
Who's running the competitive analysis on fruit snacks?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words. Bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. Enjoy a free drink with purchase of a new Chef's Chicken sandwich. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/online code.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SECURE to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. So text the word secure to 989898.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, Kingston's Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Minchikov walking in left circle, shot at the post, rebound, scores! Josh Bloom, a power play goal, and it's 3-2 Saginaw.
The Saginaw Spirit will try to continue their solid play when they host the Windsor Spitfires this Saturday night at the Dow Event Center. Complete coverage of Saturday night's game begins at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. And for ticket information, visit SaginawSpirit.com.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of W.
All right, we're back with you. A number of guests with us. Mitzi Brown from the Saginaw Spirit, and we'll talk about special tickets for tomorrow's game. Also with us is Brad Bidwell, and he is a trademark counsel and Michigan GLAD on-site representative and leader at Dow. Scott Ellis, the executive director of the Great Lakes Bay Pride, and Vanessa, who is the mother of a transgender child. I'd asked before the break about the thing that's been probably in the news more than any other part of it, and that is the transgender competing cross-gender. By that I mean a male transgender goes to female and then competes against female but still has all the male hormones and athletic ability. And I asked the guests what they think about that. So let me go. Brad, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I think I understand it's widely in the news, but I think it's a little bit of a red herring, because this only really matters when you get to elite level sports. And I mean, if people are running around playing soccer on the soccer field, ultimately, who really cares?
Right.
I think that it's being made an issue when it doesn't need to be. In terms of that competition, so we all have physiological and biological differences. I'm not standing up, so you can't see how tall I am, but I'm 5'6".
I got you by an inch, so I understand.
Okay, perfect. So I was a swimmer. I was a swimmer in high school. I was a swimmer in middle school. Michael Phelps is much taller than I am, has other physiological differences that give him an edge in swimming. He has increased webbing between his fingers and his toes. These are all physical differences that have an impact on performance, but don't disqualify other athletes. So I think we need to be very careful about making an issue where there really is none.
Let me ask this question, because you bring up an interesting point, but I have to point this out. It'd be remiss if I didn't. Yeah, he may have those advantages, but he's competing against a whole group of people who have the same advantages. He may be just slightly better than they are, but they all are elite swimmers of the same gender.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, how can I phrase it? When a transgender male goes to female and then competes against female, is that really the same thing?
So I think
at the elite level, we're talking about the elite level.
Yeah, if we're talking about the elite level, then there are guidelines and requirements, and I don't know if Scott has additional knowledge on this, or Mitzi may have additional knowledge on this based on their proximity to sports. I will fully admit I'm not a huge sports person, but I've done a little bit of research into this, and there are requirements as to specific hormone levels for transgender athletes to compete in either the male class or the female class. So I think that the elite level regulating bodies are looking at this and have put guidelines in place to prevent unfair advantage.
Yeah, Scott.
But
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd be glad to jump in there. So it's not only at the elite level that's happening. That's happening at the high school level. So high school organizations, including MHSAA here in Michigan, have had regulations in place already for many years that were actually addressing this, and that had to do with those hormone levels. So typically, when a youth participant is coming in to a sport, if they identify as transgender, or they're going through, in that case, either hormone blockers or, later as an adult, hormone replacement therapy. The blockers that they're on, there's all sorts of requirements about you have to be on this for at least a year, or you have to, meet all of these testing things. And so that's putting you at the same level. We have never, ever played sports based on hormone levels. If we did, the landscape of every sport from high school to professional athlete would look completely different. So, there are some incredible charts out there that look at different elite athletes and their specific hormone levels in comparison to others, off the charts. We would never be playing sports the way that we do if we actually did that. So it's just a moot point. We don't play based on hormone levels. We play based on what your body looks like, or we play based on, what you look like. So it really has been addressed already in so many ways. And so, like Brad said, this is a red herring. This is just something popping up, and it impacts very few people, because for the history of playing these sports and stuff, typically a person who identifies as transgender would probably not feel very welcome in those environments, and that's something we're definitely trying to address and bring it up and say, you can do these things. And these are great opportunities to skill build. I mean, sports is about teamwork, and that's a lifelong skill that we need to keep promoting.
Vanessa, out of curiosity, does your child participate in sports?
No, they're not.
So not something on your radar then?
No, it's not on my radar.
All right. And we're going to take a quick break, come back, and have some final thoughts with our guest today here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. More ahead.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
When you write a check or pay a bill online and something goes, of us gets rattled. I recently took extra time with a member experiencing that kind of frustration. Gina paid some recurring charges she suspected she no longer owed. I looked far back into her account to get a complete list of her payments. This allowed her to stop payment with confidence. She told me she could not have done it without me.
Treating members like family, going above and beyond to lend a hand when it matters most. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
When state bureaucrats threaten doctors over their COVID treatments, Representative Annette Glenn backed the bureaucrats down. Dr. John Fenninger said Annette Glenn's actions, quote, may have saved many lives. Paid for.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Carrie, can you make sure it is cleaned up?
Restaurant Week has Sanjay's tables
Can
jam-packed.
somebody please refill the...
He needs more servers to keep these new customers coming back.
Let's keep these tables turning as fast as possible, okay? Gonna need to hustle.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Saginaw Jelly Ball, located at 906 Lapeer Avenue in downtown Saginaw. You are going to get a team of 12 for Jelly Ball for only $150. Saginaw Jelly Ball is the first ever 3D blacklight Jelly Ball arena in the country and Michigan's only 3D Jelly Ball arena, just blocks away from the Dow Event Center. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your
Plus.com. This should end it. Is in. Scope makes the catch and the Tigers win the season opener.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you here on WSGW. Everybody's back but me. Come on, there we go. We have Brad Bidwell with us from GLAD Inside Dow, Scott Ellis, the Executive Director of the Great Lakes Bay Pride, Mitzi Brown from the Saginaw Spirit and a board member of the Pride organization, and Vanessa, who is the parent of a transgender youth. So I'm going to go around the horn. Mitzi, I'm going to save you for last because I want to talk about tickets and things like that at the end. Brad, let's start with the GLAD organization Inside Dow. What are you working on now? And then I want you all to think about this question. What do you want the general public to know about the Great Lakes Bay Pride and the Pride community and all those initials that we have for them? Brad, go ahead.
So in terms of what we're working on, we're working on things both internally and externally. So internally, we work to be a resource and provide events for all of our different participants. GLAD is one of the largest ERGs at Dow globally. We have about 4,500 participants, and in the Great Lakes Bay region, we have over 1,000. Roughly about 1,100 or 1,200. So it's really a big part of the global GLAD organization. So we do events such as educational events, social events, obviously community events like Pride Night at the Saginaw Spirit. And then in the community, like I mentioned, we work to make change. We work to make our communities more inclusive, more accepting, and to be a good place to live in addition to just being a good place to work. And what I would want everyone to know is that realistically, we're just people. So my husband and I, our 2.5-year-old daughter, we're just another family that lives on the block. We have to deal with daycare pickup. We have to deal with toddler tantrums, just like everyone else. And even for those in the LGBTQ plus community that aren't a prototypical family like ours, realistically, at the end of the day, we're all people. We all want the same things. We want to be treated fairly. We want to be included. We want to be accepted for who we are. So that's really what I would say. And
very good.
One of the other things to note is that although a lot of people think because we've achieved gay marriage that the fight for LGBTQ plus rights is over. And that isn't the case. In Michigan, it is still legal to be fired for being LGBTQ plus. You can be kicked out of your house. You can be evicted. So the struggle for LGBTQ plus rights continues.
All right. Steve, Scott, I mean, sorry.
That's okay. Well, Great Lakes Bay Pride is excited to continue working in our 20th year. We have a number of programs and events coming up, all of these community collaborations like Pride Night at the Saigon Spirit. In June, we'll host Pride Night with the Great Lakes Loons. We have the Great Lakes Bay Pride Festival at the end of June. Other events throughout the summer and into the fall and winter. So, Pride is not just about the month of June for us. We do Pride 12 months a year. And we're excited to, have those opportunities this year back in person after 2 years of celebrating Pride at home. I know everybody is excited for that. So, I would just say, we're really excited to keep being in the community.
Vanessa, in 30 seconds, what do you want people to know about transgender youth?
That they're no different from you and I. They just want to be accepted. They just want to be loved. And they just want people to show kindness towards them.
Very good. Mitzi, tomorrow night, tell everybody about tickets.
So you can get, we're doing a fundraising ticket for Great Lakes Bay Pride Organization. And excuse me, just go to www.saginaw.spirit.net/group sales. The username is Pride 2022 and the password is Spirit 2022. It's going to be a great night. Lots of people are there. I just want everybody to know it's a loving, warm, safe environment. And we're really excited. And the OHL is doing very progressive things. They have initiatives in plan. Like I've told the committee when we started to play on, this is more than just rainbow tape on sticks.
Yeah,
it's more than that, and that's what we're going after.
Well, listen, all of you, Brad, Scott, Vanessa, Mitzi, thank you for spending some time, and you guys can all thank Mitzi because she was the instigator and set it up this morning, and I'm glad you did it. Great.
Dad says that about the art.
Do it again. Got to say so long because we're out of time, but thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now. We'll take our last break and we'll be back to close out the hour.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
Protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
Prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music. Foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Thanks to my many guests. And we will move on. We'll talk about the Saginaw Choral Society and also Golf Up North coming up next hour here on WSGW. Before that, we have news from CBS and, of course, the local report. And then I'll be back to talk to you right after the news. Stick around. We'll see you then.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Video from Russia's defense ministry of what it claims is a missile strike on a Ukrainian military target in the eastern Luhansk region, but the Kremlin is denying responsibility. A train station packed with thousands of people trying to escape. Correspondent Holly Williams.
In Kramatorsk this morning, Ukraine says more than 30 people were killed by a Russian rocket attack at this train station that's being used to evacuate civilians from eastern Ukraine. Their bodies left crumpled beside their suitcases.
Officials say at least 4 children are among the dead. The U.S. Embassy in Kyiv calls the attack one more atrocity committed by Russia in Ukraine. President Zelensky has been critical of NATO's response to the war, repeatedly calling for more military support. He sat down with 60.
We are defending the ability of a person to live in the modern world. They say we're defending Western values, and I always say, well, what are Western values?
Full interview Sunday on CBS. In Washington, President Biden will host a ceremony to mark Ketanji Brown Jackson's historic confirmation to the Supreme Court. She'll become the first Black woman justice. CBS's Nicole Killian.
Judge Jackson will appear with President Biden and Vice President Harris later today at the White House. She will replace retiring Justice Stephen Breyer, but she's not expected to be sworn in until after he steps down at the end of the Supreme Court's term this summer.
Children in the South. CBS's Jim Krasula.
Alabama lawmakers have approved sweeping legislation that would outlaw transgender youth's access to gender-affirming medications. They also approved a measure that would require students to use bathrooms corresponding to their sex at birth. They also passed a bill to limit instruction of gender and sexual identity in early grades.
The first completely privately funded and crewed mission to the International Space Station will lift off from Kennedy Space Center shortly. Mission Commander Michael Lopez Alegria tells CBS News.
This is something that is the full experience, and I think that there will be an ever-increasing appetite for
Plans to spend 10 days at the ISS. A chocolate maker is apologizing ahead of Easter.
Sweet cream, crispy wafers, and a whole lot of yum.
A Kinder factory in Belgium has shut down after dozens of salmonella cases in Europe, most reported in children, were tied to its candies. Ferrero is voluntarily recalling some Easter treats here in the U.S. as a precaution. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and maximum success with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Exceed your expectations of what makes a great paint or stain with Pittsburgh Paints and Stains from Menards. Now all 11% off with some of the most advanced technology. Resistances, dirt shedding protection, and true one-coat coverage paint and primer in one. Finding your perfect paint or stain is easy. Get 11% off everything, including Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, now at Menards. Good through April 9th. Savings or mail-in rebates. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hometown feel and big-time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel. This is a getaway that makes you feel right at home. We've got hundreds of slots, great food, and a comfy place to stay. So come on in. Are all about Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saginaw-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, we're helping you knock out your bucket list. Because when you buy a Napa bucket for $4.99 and toss 3 or more items inside, you'll save 20% on your bucket full. So whether your bucket list includes restoring a classic, visiting every state, or saving money on the things to get you there, Napa's got your back and your bucket. Turn your shopping list into a bucket list at Napa.
Napa know-how.
Participating locations, not valid on sale items. Other exclusions apply. Offer ends 4/30/2022.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 40 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist is in the region today to promote tourism and education. At this hour, he'll be in Standish in a roundtable discussion on tourism and promoting the $450 million investment in state and local parks. He'll then travel to Bay City around 11:30 to visit a vocational skills and trade center, where he'll connect with educators and students to discuss the administration's goal to increase post-secondary education and the Michigan Reconnect program to help achieve that goal. Gilchrist will also highlight how the new state budget will deliver more mental health and educational resources for students. James Kanders, executive director of MBS International Airport, says a majority of incoming funds they are set to receive from the federal government will be used on a new maintenance garage. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Kander said on WSGW's Focus program that while the airport's secondary runway has been designated for repairs with money from the $1.2 trillion federal infrastructure investment and
Morning,
Jobs
Jeremiah.
Act, replacing their 40
Good morning,
trillion
Art. How are you?
also
Good.
be a priority so they
Good.
can
Your
fit their
audio's
snow
working
removal
too, so
equipment
we're
inside using most
I
of
turned the
what will be
video off
coming
when we're
in.
not on,
About
so
40,
don't panic.
42 years old now, and it's definitely starting to show signs of age.
On top of that, you can't get some of the equipment in it.
Correct. We've got some new pieces of equipment. They're plow trucks, multi-use plow trucks, and they're 70 feet long without the plow attached. The building as it stands right now is only 72 feet long.
The airport is slated to get $1.58
Hey there.
million a year for the next
How are
5
ya?
years for a total
I'm
of
good.
$9 million. The two
Hang on,
buildings are
I'm-
estimated to cost a total
I
of
know. I
$11.5
gotta
million,
hook this
with repairs
up
of the
here,
6,000-foot runway costing $7
Right.
million and the facility $4.5.
And
Rick Antonio,
what you
News
have
Radio
to-
100.5 and 790.
Meantime, I'll
Officer
say hello to
involved
Rick.
in a shooting
Guys.
in West
Hey, how you
Michigan.
doing?
The shooting was
Pretty
in
good. Good to talk to you.
Officers from Michigan
Good.
State.
All right, we'll be with all of you in a
to
few minutes. So
investigate.
just hang on. I
Benton
turn the
Harbor
videos
police
off
are
when we're
expected
not
to
on.
release more
Okay.
information
Hang in
later. The shooting comes just days after two other deadly police officer-involved shootings in Grand Rapids and near Muskegon on Monday. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top,
That's
letting
good,
you
Kevin.
put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 401-6681.
WSGW News Time, now 10:08. A 33-year-old man was arraigned yesterday in Gladwin County on sex assault charges. Curtis Dell was located in Georgia by the U.S. Marshal Service and extradited to Gladwin County earlier this week. The circumstances of his crimes have not been made available. He's charged with first and second-degree criminal sexual conduct and is being held on a $200,000 bond. The Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational Lpga tournament takes place this summer from July 10th to 16th at Midland Country Club, and the event is in need of volunteers. WSGW's Michael.
The Dow GLBI is hoping to attract about 800 or 900 volunteers for the tournament. It currently only has around 400. Dow GLBI Special Events and Volunteer Coordinator Cameron Wings says in exchange for a person's time, there will be some perks.
For volunteering, you get a nice package. You get a branded hat, 2 branded polos, and a couple of complimentary tickets. So it's a nice package, and you get to spend your summer outside watching some of the world's best golfers in our backyard.
Wings says anyone of any age can volunteer from middle school on up. Michael Percha, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Baby formula is in strong demand and in short supply. More from MNN's Brooke Allen.
And parents,
right here in Michigan starting to panic as they struggle to find alternatives amid a nationwide baby formula shortage. Reports of formula shortages started circulating back in the fall of 2021 as the pandemic lingered and supply chain issues persisted. And the shortage only got worse in February when Abbott Nutrition issued a massive recall of products possibly linked to deadly bacteria infections in infants. The FDA says it is keeping an eye on any formula shortages, especially because infant formula is the only source of nutrition for many newborns and babies.
New improvements to Detroit's parking app are here just in time for Tigers opening day. Keith Hutchins, parking department, says drivers can now use the app to find and pay for any available parking, not just meters, and there's a turn-by-turn navigation.
It will eventually help reduce congestion and pollution. Instead of driving around trying to find a location, you'll know exactly where you're going to go. You won't have to worry about there not being spots. And when it gets congested, you'll start to see the garages and lots in that area are full. So you'll start to now move to other areas versus trying to stay in traffic and then finding out you're going to have to find another location to park anyway.
The upgraded Park Detroit app is available for download now. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 790. It's at 1010. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here for today with cloudy sky conditions high into the mid-40s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a chance for rain showers and mixing with snow late, then becoming all snow even later. Cloudy and low near 31. By Saturday, mostly cloudy, high of 42 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 52. Monday, we'll have a slight chance for rain showers here late, cloudy sky conditions, and a high around 61. Tuesday, slight chance for rain late and a high of 6. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 41.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Nice to have you with us. Later on in the hour, toward the end of the hour, we're going to talk to Barry Owens from Treetops about golf up north, but we're going to spend most of the hour talking about the Saginaw Choral Society and a production coming up, Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And we have a number of people involved here this morning to introduce you to, first of all, the musical director of the Choral Society. We say hello to Jeremiah Kraniak. Good morning, Jeremiah.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Also with us, the person who's going to be doing the stage directing for this upcoming production. And we say good morning to our old buddy, Rick Roberts. Hey, Rick.
How are you doing?
We're doing well. And then there's one other. They've enlisted a piano player for some reason. And this particular piano player, I have dubbed throughout the many decades I've known him, the Gershwinologist. And we say good morning. We say good morning to Kevin Cole.
You decades? Don't you mean eons by this
Eons
point?
will work. That's fine. Yeah.
Eons.
Yeah,
no,
older
I'm not.
than you are, but we're both up there. That's
Yeah, but this time, Art, I'm not a Gershwinologist.
I understand that.
I'm a Saginaw choralologist.
A
today.
choralologist. Very good.
Yes.
That's very good. With Jeremiah, let's start with, I think maybe for those that are unaware of it, let's do just a little overview of the Choral Society. Tell us about the institution itself.
So the institution has been around for, I think we are in 86 years now.
Wow.
And it has existed as the community chorus in Saginaw, Michigan. We have membership that reads and singers that come from all outlying areas. And at any given time, our membership base, our singer base, sits somewhere between 60 and 100 singers, depending on what's going on, what season it is. But they are all volunteers. So every singer in the ensemble volunteers their time and their talents to do this, and to put on live musical concerts, live musical entertainment for the community. It's a wonderful organization to be a part of. We have absolutely fantastic teams available in production, as you can see today, and we look forward to every production that we put on.
How many a year do you normally do?
Typically, we have 3 to 4 main stage concerts a year, and then a number of small ensemble or quartet or solo gigs, things like that throughout the area.
And you also collaborate with the symphony occasionally, with Saginaw Valley State University, where you had a production. I just received an email from someone touting the work out at Saginaw Valley State University. Rick Roberts, you may know something about that. You retired from there.
Yep. Well, it's interesting, Art. I was trying to think of how long you were talking about, Kevin. Actually, this year is the 40th year I've known you. I met you in 1982.
That's exactly right, because of the
drum corps.
Yeah, the drum corps, and wow.
That's a long time.
A lot of stories we're not going to tell.
We're not going to tell today.
Kevin, be quiet. I know you're thinking.
I'm very lucky to have had a long collaboration with the Choral Society, almost a decade now. And I have been able to, they have asked me graciously to direct their Broadway musical concerts, which we did The Wizard of Oz, Scrooge the Musical, and now Joseph, which is much different, quite honestly, than the previous two we did. And it's interesting this one is the most in concert production we've done. There is some staging, there are some costumes. We rely tremendously on the technical aspects of the show, lighting, drops, music, and then, of course, all the singers. Adding a lot of excitement and also a lot of stress to it is not only we're using the Choral Society this year, but 3 years ago, Jeremiah and Emerald Joyner put together a thing called the Saigon Youth Choir. And that has exploded. And because Joseph was originally written as a children's concert, almost all productions use a children's choir, and we have a 41-piece choir children's concert or choir also.
Yeah.
So we'll have roughly around 90 singers, 20 musicians. There'll be 115, 120 people on that stage.
And for those that don't know Rick, and Rick's right, I've known him for 40 years. You'd never like to see someone not succeed, but in his case, I was glad he didn't. And here's what I mean by that. Local boy went off to New York to find his fame and fortune on the stage. Didn't like it very much.
Hated it.
Came back. Hated it. Came back. And we were the beneficiaries because he became a teacher at Saginaw Valley State University in the theater department for many, many, many years, and benefited a lot of people who went through that department. And I've known Rick a long time.
That's sweet.
A long time. And I've known the other guy, the Gershwinologist guy. I think I've known him as long. So let me ask Kevin, this is kind of different for you, isn't it? Although you've done a lot of background music and you've done a lot of production music, but this one's kind of a little different, isn't it?
Right. Usually my association with the Choral Society has been, they bring me in as a soloist as part of their program, especially around the holidays. But in this case, in recent years, I think this is my second year, I am now on the board of directors at the Saginaw Choral Society. And I like to be a very active person when I'm on a board and not just show up to the meetings and say yay or nay, and then you don't see me until the end of the year party. So, I want to get more involved. So when this came up, and I was very familiar with Joseph because I had done a production at Bay City Players back in 1986 that Leeds Bird directed, and I loved the show. So when the time came, I said to Rick and Jeremiah, I said, well, if you're looking for a pianist, and they usually have Catherine McMichael, who, obviously could play the score, but she had some conflicts. And the other thing that comes with me is if they are, because of the size of the cast and all the moving parts, if Jeremiah or Rick said, hey, would you go work with so-and-so on the song while we're doing something else? they know that I will coach or do whatever to their satisfaction, because I know what they expect and what they want.
Yeah.
So it's a little more than just accompanying, but it's nice to not be the man in charge, and it's also very nice to work with people who have vision on what makes it entertainment, and what they both work on a very high level. They set the bar very high, and they don't do that so that people don't reach it. They do it so people have something to reach for. And we need more of that in this area because the talent is remarkable. It's just that there aren't a lot of opportunities for people to push their talent. So they just kind of glide because they have a pretty voice,
Yeah.
or they can dance. But
Yeah.
with Rick and Jeremiah involved, and me kind of, in the background, we expect a lot. And I think people appreciate having the outlet to do something that you might as well just say is as professional as a professional, because we are doing it. We just don't use that label.
Yeah. I don't know which one of you two sucked him into the board, but good luck. Jeremiah.
Oh, yes. It's interesting because what Kevin said about him providing other resources, not just being a pianist, is absolutely true. And one of the reasons that I love working with him. Currently, in addition to being the artistic director for Choral Society, I am the voice keyboard concentration teacher out at Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy and on the voice faculty at SVSU. And so for singers to reach out to me and say, I'm really struggling with this, I need some one-on-one attention, doesn't always fit into my schedule. But to have somebody like Kevin Cole on, who is wildly successful in anything that he does and has the knowledge base to be able to support singers to the best of their ability, is absolutely priceless for this organization. It is wonderful.
All right, guys, hang on. I got to take a break. We'll talk more about it when we return. We're talking to Rick Roberts, Jeremiah Kraniak, and Kevin Cole about the upcoming production of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, put on by the Saginaw Choral Society, and that will be on April 30th. We'll tell you more about that, too, as we go along here on WSGW. But right now, let's see if we can give away some money. It's time to play WSGW's Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is stadium. Let's go to the stadium to watch a ball game. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists on WSGW.
At Tub of Towels, we started with the toughest messes and quickly realized Tub of Towels heavy-duty cleaning wipes can clean just about anything, like stubborn brake dust, spilled paint, even permanent marker. There's literally thousands of uses. Proudly made in the USA with over 35,000 five-star reviews. Find Tub of Towels heavy-duty cleaning wipes at your local auto parts store, the Home Depot, Lowe's, and more. Look for the big yellow tub.
This is Fogelman, ready to hustle for that muscle.
Membership numbers at Sly's Gym have been racking up.
6 a.m. buns of steel?
Now he needs more certified trainers to do all the heavy lifting.
I'm going to have to bulk up my staff.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff. Top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report. Stocks open mixed, though technology shares are losing ground. Tesla opened its new Austin Gigafactory last night with promises of the going into production next year. It is currently making the Model Y hatchback, but Tesla opened lower. Shares of free trading app Robinhood Markets are losing ground after Goldman Sachs analysts recommended investors sell the stock. Goldman says Robinhood's ability to make a profit is limited, and it's seeing weaker growth in its accounts. Amazon is planning to challenge both the union and National Labor Relations Board over the vote at a warehouse in Staten Island, New York, that was in favor of unionizing. And shipping giant Moeller-Maersk will combat the supply chain crisis by launching a new air freight business. That's your... I'm Ginny Cosilda, invested in you.
Are we about to see the end of the dollar? On March 9th, Biden signed an executive order for digital money piggybacking off Senate Bill 3571, the Digital Dollar Banking for All Act. The media says it's the ultimate financial censorship tool and a tool for government surveillance of citizens and control over their financial transactions. Protect your savings from Democrats. Get Monetary Gold's free protection guide. Call 888-201-7262. 888-201-7262. 888-201-7262. Paid for by Monetary Gold.
Listen to this station on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the menu.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 EW.
This should end it. Scope out. Reyes in. Scope makes the catch, and the Tigers win the season opener.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW talking about the Saginaw Choral Society's upcoming production, Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's going to be on April 30th, but I'd be remiss, guys. Let's get into the details of the wheres, the wheres and whens and all that stuff. Where is it going to be held?
It's going to be at the Historic Temple Theater in downtown Saginaw. The show is April 30th of this month. Matter of fact, coming faster than I want it to come. And the curtain is at 3:00. And there's a one intermission. The show runs about 90 minutes with one 15-minute intermission there. So it'll be in under 2 hours. And the great thing about the show is it is perfect for entire families. I mean, from grandparents all the way down to 5-year-old kids, it is absolutely perfect for that. It'll be a great thing for generations to come see together. And there are a couple things in the original production that was done on Broadway in 1982. The role of Mrs. Potiphar, at one point, she gets a little amorous with Joseph. We've completely toned that down and turned it a little bit more comedic. There is not like full frontal nudity, but there was some nudity with Joseph where he was basically in a loincloth. We have changed that also because we want to make sure everybody that comes in there knows that they can bring their grandchild or their grandmother and come in to see the show.
Yeah, I saw Donny Osmond do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand the changes you've made.
Yeah. Donny Osmond said the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to him performing was in the national tour. He was in a loincloth and it fell off in the middle of the show. And that's all he had on.
Yeah, right. Well, I didn't see that production. The other thing, and tickets. Available where, when, how?
Tickets are currently available. They're selling very well, actually. The tickets are $30, $25, and $10. There is also a $10 student ticket, and those can be purchased at the Temple Theater website. Just click on event, and it takes you right into the e-tick system.
Very good. Very good. I also want to say something nice about Kevin. He's going to perk up because we don't do that very often. But, it's I didn't hear you. You got your mic muted. The thing about Kevin is, here is, by anybody's measure, an international piano star, plays with some of the biggest orchestras around the world, yet never forgot where he's from. Comes back home, plays around locally just like he's just an everyday artist, plunking a piano in a bar someplace. Plays with theater groups and things of that nature. And I think, we have all benefited from that talent, because he is, by any measure, an enormous talent. And whatever he does turns to gold. So I just thought I'd make that general comment. I don't hear you, Kev. I think you're not, we don't hear you at all. It's like your audio is not working. Make sure you're not muted. Nope, we don't hear you. So you just have to sit there and look good. So see if you can fix your audio. Take your computer and turn off the video and stuff and come back on again and see if that fixes it, because you're silent right now. And anyone that knows Kevin, silence is not part of his regimen. Jeremiah, how many individuals involved in this production?
Okay, so it's a 15-piece orchestra. There are 45-ish adult singers, 41 youth choir singers.
Wow.
Yes. And then on top of that, we have lighting designers, sound designer and operator, backstage hands. I think there are 4 altogether, plus a stage manager. It's a much larger scale than what we typically work on for a traditional choral concert. But very necessary so that everybody knows where they're going and when.
Yep. How much staging, Rick?
Well, the interesting thing is that's actually a question we get from a lot of people. They think, some people come in assuming that it's just the Choral Society traditional concert.
Standstill, yeah.
Standstill. And certainly that is part of it. But some of the songs are actually staged heavily. Some of them are just a single performer coming down stage. All the leads, I think there are 22 leads in the show that have solos or are in little smaller ensembles. They're all mic'd with head mics, but we also have mics at the front of the stage, because sometimes larger groups come down and they're around the mics, particularly with the kids, with 41 children on stage. And they're not on stage the whole time. They come into a song, then they exit and go to another song. So that's logistically, that's problematic at times, because if you've ever been to the Temple Theater, you have. What most people don't know is there's zero backstage space. I mean, when you see the back wall, that's the wall. It's not like a theater where you can move scenery all over the place.
No, it's true. Kevin, say something.
Hey,
we got you. You're fixed.
Hey, I wanted to chime into what you said, besides saying thank you in pantomime like I did before. The reason I keep involved in the community rather than just using this as a stop on a concert tour or to see mom and the family is because I wouldn't be who I am without this community. And this community is not just Bay City, where I grew up. It includes Saginaw and Midland, because all these people, friends included, like Rick and Jeremiah, are part of my history. And I don't know, I've never been a big, Carnegie Hall, Hollywood Bowl, these are spectacular places, Royal Albert Hall, and I'll never forget playing there. But I've never gotten to that point in my mind that the performance I give there is any different than if I'm playing for 7 people in Caseville at the back of a restaurant, like I did one time for an afternoon concert, and only 7 people showed up. I gave them the same concert, and I also felt as satisfied as if it was something big. Yes, it didn't have the glamour, but it's not about that. It's about communicating. And so I'm always happy to help when I can. Now, that being said, you can imagine once people know you're back and this is your base now, you get contacted a lot to do stuff. So I do have to be picky because I still have a concert life somewhere out there. But with Joseph, I'm a big fan of this show, and I cannot say enough. I'll just highlight what Rick said about it being a family show. I think it's one of Andrew Lloyd Webber, who we know from Cats and Phantom, probably most, and Jesus Christ Superstar most famously. I think it's one of his best scores. Why? Because he writes in every style of music you can imagine. There's a calypso, there's a rock number, there's an Elvis-y kind of rock number, there's ballads. It's crazy the styles this guy can write in.
There's also something else about Joseph that my impression of it when I left was what an upbeat kind of show.
Yes.
It leaves you happy.
Well, it's interesting we say that because the Choral Society just finished a concert called The Alzheimer's Story that was supposed to happen in March of 2020 when the country closed down 1 week before the concert. We had that waiting in the wings for almost 2 years. We just did it, and even though it was a beautiful concert, it's the antithesis of that show,
right?
Because it was a heavy subject, and now all of a sudden we are doing these multiple high energy numbers. And since you probably saw Joseph, they've now tweaked it over the years. And there's a final number that comes on after the curtain call that's called the Megamix. And basically, it is a disco version, a retelling of all the songs. So there's like little snippets throughout the whole thing, very much like the ending of Mamma Mia. So the energy it takes it right to the end of the show until people are walking out. That energy is high.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and another segment with our guests here on WSGW. But again, on the 30th of this month, Temple Theater, Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat put on by the Saginaw Choral Society, and our guests will be back.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said now he speaks Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Behold the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. This isn't some bean counter. Today's CFO is critical to the strategy, growth, and profitability of the business. But in growing companies, there are two kinds of CFOs. One who's struggling to keep up with spreadsheets everywhere, manual processes, errors, and lack of visibility into the numbers. It takes weeks to close the books. And one who's on top of their game. Automated reports, inventory, e-commerce, and HR flow into the financial model seamlessly. Insights coming with the click of a button. This CFO uses NetSuite by Oracle with visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. NetSuite is everything you need to grow all in one place. That's why NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system used by over 29,000 growing businesses. CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Head to netsuite.com/radar for a special one-of-a-kind financing offer. netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Introducing Venture X, Capital One's new travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Inflation in Michigan and the Midwest, highest in the nation. Annette Glenn is running for state senate to fight for new jobs, energy independence, to cut fuel costs, cut taxes and drug costs. Annette Glenn, fighting for us. Paid for by Annette Glenn for state senate.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
On the Morning Team Show page, you got a picture posted. See those pair of shoes there?
I do.
Can you see what it says in the back of those shoes?
I believe it says Waffle House.
It does say Waffle House. Waffle House and Adidas have teamed up and launching on the first opening round day of the Masters, a brand new shoe, Waffle House themed. Yes, you heard me right.
A golf shoe or a regular shoe?
A golf shoe. It boasts an off-white color. It says similar to waffle batter. There are 3 stripes on the sides of the shoe that sport a brown checkered waffle pattern to resemble the color of a cooked. There you go. A transparent outsole that captures the friendly and sometimes generous pour of maple syrup. Don't know what that means. If you're interested, by the way, $200 retail price.
$200 for those?
Well, there's your question now. Would you rather have the waffles or would you rather have the shoes?
I'd rather have the waffles, but not for $200.
You're going to have a good swing.
It's going to cost you more than $200 there, Lois.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. And we're chatting with a number of guests from the Choral Society here in Saginaw. Jeremiah Kreniak, he is the musical director of the organization. We have with us Rick Roberts, going to do the stage directing for the upcoming Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat show on April 30th. And, of course, Kevin Cole, who is going to be the musical director of the production. So this production, how, obviously there's a difference between a staging and a full staging. How different is it, Rick, from what we might see if we went and saw the original show?
Right. Well, that's interesting that you would ask that, because I was explaining that to the cast last week. Was our first blocking rehearsal. And the idea of a concert setting is that you're not trying to trick the audience into thinking that they're seeing a musical per se. So if you go to see Joseph in New York, you're not going to see stagehands. You're not going to see them putting costumes on. You're not going to see any of that. With this production, you will literally see some people bringing props down to other folks. You're going to see people going from the choir. The choir itself is wearing black Joseph shirts. And then when they stand up to become a character in the show, they will have something that represents that character. The only 2 characters that are costumed fully throughout the show are Joseph himself and the character of Pharaoh, which is the Elvis character. And that your listeners may say, wait, Elvis? Yes, Elvis. That's just one of the rock and roll parts of the show. Is Pharaoh comes out and he sings, has screaming girls falling over him, and he's got the pompadour and everything else. So that's the interesting part of it. We don't have a lot of dancing in the show, which of course there is, because most people in the Choral Society, the men, and look like me, and we're not dancers.
Yeah, all right. I'm not saying anything.
But Jeremiah has put together a superb orchestra from around the state. And that's another thing that's interesting. We would have the orchestra right on stage with us.
On stage rather than in the pit.
Yeah, normally the orchestra is in the front in the pit when we did Scrooge and Oz, but this one, the choir is actually split into two sections, and the orchestra is in a wedge between the two choirs.
Wow!
And, so that itself is problematic because of miking and sound. So there's a lot of technical things that happen long before the show ever opens on the 30th.
All right, so Jeremiah again, 30th at the Temple Theater. Tickets available.
Yes, tickets available contacting the Temple Theater. You can contact them either online at templetheater.com or call the box office on Fridays at 877-754-SHOW. It's a 3 p.m. curtain.
All right. And Kevin, what's ahead for you aside from the show?
Well, I'm working on a new recording, and actually it'll be the first commercial recording that Sylvia McNair and I have ever done of unknown Harold Arlen songs from a score of an unproduced musical of his. And we love Harold Arlen because he did the music for The Wizard of Oz, most famously. So we're recording in May for a fall release. And, well, you may see Rick Roberts and I in the near future, because we're working on some things ourselves that we don't want to talk about to eclipse the wonderful Joseph coming up, but we're collaborating. And
in other words, I'm in for another show with you two characters.
If you can stand it, yeah. You know,
All right.
It's like Abbott and Costello here, but also I think I may be involved with some Christmassy things, possibly with Saginaw Choral too, because they're planning a very exciting next season. And I would be remiss though. I must say, all of us work under the umbrella of one really fantastic musician in person, our executive director Tammy Grief.
Yep.
You know, I've known her for years, but she, being a musician, she understands more than most executive directors who would show up in a crisp polo shirt at a meeting. So we really love her and her way of just supporting our ideas.
Good way to end. Guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Good luck with the show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Art.
Take care, Jeremiah, Rick, Kevin. Thanks a lot.
Yep,
bye-bye now.
Bye, Art.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little golf up north with Barry Owens from Treetops.
Hometown feel and big time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel. This is a getaway that makes you feel right at home. We've got hundreds of slots, great food, and a comfy place to stay. So come on in and see what the good times are all about. Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Landing.com for complete rules and details.
Capoco Community Credit Union has you covered this summer for any of your lending needs. Home improvements? You're covered. Patio furniture? You're covered. How about a vacation? Covered. Maybe it's something that will make lasting memories, like a wedding. Yep, Capoco has loans to help you with all of those life-changing events. Any dream is possible when you let Capoco dream it with you. Capoco Community Credit Union, Bay City and Saginaw. Plan your summer now. Go online to capoco.org. Member NCUA.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies active who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation. Call
9188 800-364-9188 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance, so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty.
This should end it. Scope out. Reyes in. Scope makes the catch, and the Tigers win the season opener.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We're all focused on the Masters tournament this weekend in golf, particularly with Tiger Woods playing again. But, you know, there's some other golf to focus on. Some of the best courses in the state of Michigan are housed right at Treetops in Gaylord, Michigan. With us right now, the general manager. We say good morning to Barry Owens. Barry, how are you?
I'm good, Art. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. Golf season is almost here, or is it here for you yet?
It's almost here.
Yeah,
we've still got a little bit of weather up here, but by the by the early part of May, right there, we'll be ready to roll.
And there are, I mean, you have what, 4 golf courses, 5?
We have 4 18-hole courses, and then we have Treetops, the par 3 course,
which is well known as it's a championship 3, isn't it? It really is a unique course. So
yeah, and it's the one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, it's the one that it's been picked as the number 1 par 3 in North America by a couple different publications. You know, it's pretty neat. It was we had it before it was cool to have a par 3. You know, now they seem to be all the rage. But you know, the real claim to fame shootout that was held, you know, earlier, you know, a few years ago. And that was televised on ESPN. And in tribute to the Masters, we had, during that time, there was players that played in it that won 17 Masters.
Wow.
Nicholas won 6. Mickelson won 3. And then there was 13 right there.
Wow. So of the 4 courses, one of them is located at the lower area. The Treetops, for those of you that don't know, is kind of a split thing. You've got an upper and a lower. You've got the one course at the lower and the others on top. Which course gets the most play?
So we refer to them as the South Campus and the North Campus.
Yeah.
So the South Campus is the Robert Trent Jones senior course, the masterpiece, last course that he designed in the state of Michigan. That one gets the most play, but it's primarily because it is it opens first and closes last, since it's right here at the resort. And then up at the north, we've got the Tom Fazio Premier, which is the first and only course in the state of Michigan by Mr. Fazio. And then we've got the ones that Rick Smith designed, which is the Signature, the Tradition, and then Treetops. And you know, it's always really close up there, it seems. But normally the one that's played the most at the north is the Fazio.
Now,
so yeah, but there are people favorite.
For the average golfer, I mean, if you were to rate these courses in terms of difficulty, from top to bottom, which one would be the most difficult? Which one the least difficult?
The most difficult would be the Jones course, the Masterpiece.
Yeah,
Masterpiece. The least. Yeah, it's a lot of elevation change, and it, you know, you got to be smart on what tees you select, because if you get too far back, you know, it becomes a true test of golf and your skill. And it's one of those courses too that you play a couple times and you're supposed to hit the ball, assuming you can hit it where you want to. And then
that's a big assumption.
Yeah, the course that's probably the most playable is the Tradition course, and it's ironic in the sense that is celebrating its 25-year anniversary this year. And we started this winter, over years. That was designed as an inland link style course. And over years, a lot of the trees have grown and encroached on different things. And so we've gone in and removed a tremendous amount of trees this winter. And we're working with all the cleanup right now here in the spring. And that'll take a little bit to get it cleaned up throughout the course of the year. But, the playing surfaces are all fine and everything. The fairways, roughs, tees, greens, none of those were impacted at all. And then back in those areas that were, where the trees are at, we're going to be planting like the fescue type grass that'll, grow up to your knees and be wispy, and you'll be able to hit out of it. It won't be real thick.
Yeah, if you can find your ball.
So, yeah, well, our goal is to keep it thin so you can do that. And you'll play. I mean, it's not going to be an ideal place to play out of, but all those fairways are good size to begin with. But it's pretty neat, going out there here since the snow has melted off up there, and seeing the difference with these trees removed and the views that have opened up and the areas you can see. There's one spot you can actually look across the course and see almost a mile through this valley and stuff like that, and see like 13 holes just in one glance.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to help that golf course, and we're excited to see people's response.
So let's talk about tee times and getting them. Can people reserve tee times online?
We've got the short answer is no. But it's coming real quickly here. It should be up in the next couple of weeks. So we made a change with our technology provider, and so it's just not up yet. But you can just call our reservations line, and the reservations there will be happy to take care of the tee time for you.
And what's that number?
888 Treetops.
Oh, that's hard to remember.
It's everybody's excited, and I think everybody's clamoring for more and more normalcy.
Yeah.
As we put some of the stuff in our rear view window, and we're sure seeing it, with the excitement of travel and the people that are traveling too. We have a partnership between the Gaylord Convention and Visitors Bureau and Gaylord Golf Mecca and Traverse City Airport, where we promote people to come play golf from Dallas, Texas, because they're direct flights.
Cool.
And
Very
that's
good.
going really well. And that's
All right.
exciting.
So for information on tee times, lodging, and all that stuff, 888 Treetops is the number. Barry, always a pleasure. I know we'll talk to you again down the road pretty soon.
All right. Thanks, Art.
Thanks for being with us. Take care. Bye-bye now. Barry Owens, General Manager of Treetops. Golf course is getting ready to open up mid-May, so keep that on your calendar. We'll be back to close out.
M&R Garage Door wants to invite everyone to stop by their showroom to see what's new with garage doors. They want to remind you that home experts agree that replacing your old garage door with an they transform the look and curb appeal of your home more than any other exterior improvement. They can professionally install your garage door and opener. M&R has trained staff to stand behind and warranty their work. Call 894-0971. That's 894-0971. M&R Garage Door. Service is their specialty.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM. 866-549-TERM.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Yeah.
Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
All right, that's going to do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. We thank you much for being with us. We're going to take time out for news at the top of the hour. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little broadcasting with our General Sales Manager, Carrie Gustafson. All ahead.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
Kathan. A new flashpoint of anger and grief in Ukraine, this time a Russian rocket attack on a train station in the eastern part of the country. Dozens of people were killed. BBC reporter Joe Inwood is in that area.
There was an attack on the railway line yesterday, which caused a huge build-up of crowds. We've heard about thousands and thousands of people at the station, leading to this huge death toll. Now, the reason so many people were there is because they were stranded, and they were stranded because of a Russian attack, which just makes this seem even more cynical, even more calculated, if those reports are true.
French President Macron called the attack abominable. Today, forensic investigators began exhuming a mass grave in the Ukrainian town of Bucha, laying out bodies of civilians who officials say were killed during the time Russian troops rolled through. Ukraine's President Zelensky was asked about that town by Scott Pelley for Sunday's 60 Minutes.
What did you see in Bucha?
Смерть. Death.
Просто смерть.
Just death. The first completely privately funded mission to the space station is due to lift off shortly. Former NASA astronaut Michael Lopez Alegria is the commander.
I've been advocating for commercial human spaceflight since I left NASA, and thinking that I would do that from the sidelines as a cheerleader, and now I get the ball on first and goal. It's a wonderful opportunity. I couldn't be happier.
An American, Canadian, and Israeli round out the mission team. Alabama is the latest state to move closer to policies that will affect transgender young people. CBS's Jim Crisula.
Alabama lawmakers have approved sweeping legislation that would outlaw transgender youth's access to gender-affirming medications. They also approved a measure that would require students to use bathrooms corresponding to their sex at birth. They also passed a bill to limit instruction of gender and sexual identity in early grade.
Nebraska, fueled by dry and windy conditions, forced the evacuation of the small village of Edison. A volunteer responder died in a crash on a way to fight that fire. For Tiger Woods, the plan after round one of the Masters was to rest up and use ice to ease aches and pains.
Make sure that I have the stamina to keep going. And it's only one round. We got 3 more to go. There's a long way to go and a lot of shots to be played.
Woods, who's back just 14 months after a crippling auto accident, was 4 shots off the lead as play began today. He will tee off for round 2 in a few hours. Wall Street, the Dow is up 280 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home. Well, there's your pig, then Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
My sweet cheeks feeling squeaky clean when Charmin's rolling behind the scenes. Charmin TP gives me those cheeky clean feels. That ultra strong hype is all for reals. Those TP rolls got me a Charmin clean tooketh. Cheek to cheek feeling oh so shooketh.
Charmin Ultra Strong just cleans better. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Don't just like to love to lawn with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. Head to Wolf Ace Hardware. a dealer today and see how the fastest growing lawn tractor is setting the standard for performance and comfort. Cub Cadet is delivering more strength, more versatility, and more durability in one lineup that now features bold new redesigns of the fully electric XT1 and the dealer exclusive XT2. The XT Enduro series also offers extra tough fabricated and stamped decks, breakthrough cutting and bagging performance, incredibly responsive handling, and an ergonomically designed operator station with an adjustable seat for incredible comfort, all backed by strong warranties and the genuine parts, accessories, and trained service technicians only Woolfiles can provide. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Woolfiles Ace Hardware, 58, where customer service still exists.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 39 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. Police in Saigon have arrested a suspect in the death of a 35-year-old woman. Sharday Davenport was killed by gunfire on April 3rd at a home at 1203 Dillon. Search warrant and arrested 15-year-old Lorenzo Jones Jr. for open murder. He's charged as an adult after his arraignment Thursday. He's being held at the Saginaw County Juvenile Detention Center. Saginaw police were assisted in the arrest by state police troopers. Police in Georgia have extradited a man to Gladwin County accused of criminal sexual conduct. 33-year-old Curtis Dell was arraigned yesterday on first and second-degree criminal sexual conduct. He was located in Georgia by the U.S. Marshal Service. Circumstances related to the charges have not been made available. Dell is being held in Gladwin County on a $200,000 bond. Police in Saginaw County are looking for a suspect in a murder that happened in January 2021. 38-year-old Donald Patrick Jr. was shot and killed as he left work at Hooters at 5538 Bay Road in Cottsville Township on January 19th, 2021. A passerby heard multiple gunshots and told police they saw someone wearing a white hooded sweatshirt running from the scene toward Walmart. The police canine unit tracked the shooter's scent until it went cold. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to call the Saginaw County Sheriff's Department or Crime Stoppers. WSGW News, 11:07.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle with the all-new Ascend Sportsbook. That's right, sports betting is here. Now you can watch and wager on sports in every season all year round. So bring your crew and grab a front row seat for all the action. It's real sports betting now at the Ascend Sportsbook, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. You must be 18 or older to wager. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
WSGW News time is 11:07. MBS International Airport Executive Director James Kanders says he has plans to use incoming federal funds for needed repairs and upgrades. Here's more from Rick Antonio.
Kanders says the airport is set to receive at least $1.58 million a year for the next 5 years from the federal government, thanks to the $1.2 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. He said on WSGW's Focus program that the money is planned to go towards runway repairs and a larger maintenance garage that could actually contain their snowplow.
We're going to be allocated at least $1.58 million a year for the next 5 years as part of that infrastructure grant funds. Some of it will be used for some of the runway and taxiway improvements here on the airport, but we are also trying to build a new maintenance facility. The bulk of it will go towards that if we meet all the approval measures.
At 7, surfacing of the airport's 6,000-foot-long secondary runway and $4.5 million for the new construction, totaling more than what the airport will receive. Kanders says a majority of the incoming funds will be aimed at the maintenance facility. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Enrollment numbers have been declining at Central Michigan University over the past 10 years. Jennifer DeHermes, CMU's Vice President of Student Recruitment and Retention, says in 2012 there were 3,300 enrolled freshmen compared to about 1,900 for the fall 2021 semester. The university is working on a variety of engagement programs to turn this long-term trend around.
We're not going to grow our way out of this enrollment challenge by only focusing on recruiting new students. We also have to work at keeping some of the students that might normally leave before they get a degree. So we've got to work on the retention piece as well.
Disclaimers, DeHameris joined CMU in June of 2020 and says the school is focusing on tailoring programs both online and on campus to more specifically address the needs of students. Jurors are deliberating for a fifth day in the trial of 4 men charged with planning to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. They requested and today were given a bag that was offered as evidence of an explosive earlier in the trial. Investigators say pennies taped to a commercial-grade firework were intended to act like shrapnel during an attack on the Democratic governor's security team. The jury charges in the case against Brandon Caserta, Adam Fox, Barry Croft Jr., and Daniel Harris. The men also face the main charge of a kidnapping conspiracy. 3 face other counts related to explosives and a firearm. Croft is from Bear, Delaware, while the others are from Michigan. Police are investigating the death of an inmate at the Berrien County Jail. The Berrien County Sheriff's Office says 35-year-old Nicholas Yeager of Benton Harbor was found unresponsive in the receiving area around 7:30 a.m. yesterday. Deputies and medical staff of the jail administered first aid and CPR until paramedics arrived. The Sheriff's Office says the efforts to revive him were unsuccessful. The cause of death remains unknown. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here for today with cloudy sky conditions high into the mid-40s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a chance for rain showers, then mixing with snow late, then becoming all snow even later. Cloudy and low near 31. By Saturday, mostly cloudy, high of 42 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 52. Monday, we'll have a slight chance for rain showers here late, cloudy sky conditions, and high around 61. Tuesday, slight chance for rain and a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 41.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online .com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio. Focus brought to you by Roof Max, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about Roof Max online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's Roof Max. And remember, when you spell it with 2 X's, roofmax.com. And I'm getting different kinds of notes, so I'm not sure what's happening. We're going to be talking to Carrie Gustafson. She is our general sales manager here at WSGW. And we say good morning to Carrie.
Good morning, Art.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. So, since you told me yesterday or the day before that you were going to be on, we didn't get to chat about what you want to talk about. So tell us what's happening.
Well, yeah. So first, I just want to let everybody know that we are bringing back our Kids World event that's going to be Saturday, April 16th from 11 to 2 p.m. We've partnered with the Fashion Square Mall here in Saginaw, and we are going to have the big event this year out there. So that's the first thing, is just inviting everybody out to, bring their kiddos out and have a fun, free day. It's all free. You just come in, get your kids signed up, because we will have bounce houses. We're going to have a face painter there. kids. We also are going to have an Easter bunny this year since it's the day before Easter.
Yeah.
I know. You're wearing the costume too, by the way, Art.
I just looked at my schedule. I'm busy that day.
I'm sure you are. So are the rest of us. So we'll have the Easter bunny there. So you'll be able to get free pictures with the Easter bunny. Lots of other fun stuff going on. Starting at 1 p.m. We will have an egg hunt that's brought to you by Life Church here in Saginaw. They are going to be putting that on, and we will have it going off at different times for different ages. Like I said, we have the bounce houses that is brought to you by Bouncing Bellas, which is awesome. We appreciate them for, helping us out with that. And then so many other fun things. We've got a stage where we'll be giving away prizes and having the different stations out there as well. So you'll get to hear all of our wonderful music. And I'm pretty sure, Art, you are supposed to be there, by the way.
Oh, really? Haven't heard that yet.
We'll talk about that later. How about that?
That's good. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we have going on. Like I said, it's free. We want everyone to come out, bring the kids. It's for all ages. So, you can bring the little ones, your 12, 13-year-olds out and just have a fun family day that we haven't got to do in a while.
And what time is it going to be held?
It's going to be from 11 to 2 p.m. So if you definitely want to be involved in the egg hunt, we suggest you, coming in well before that so you can get registered. Because like I said, there are going to be different age we will have going in. We don't want them all going into the egg hunt location at the same time. And so we want to make sure there's plenty of time to get signed up and there's room for the kids to be able to get involved in that.
And the other thing that I really appreciate about this is that it's again a partnership with Fashion Square Mall, and
absolutely
haven't done that in a while, and it's great to be back inside the mall.
Yeah, absolutely. And just want to say a shout out and thank you to our other sponsors as well, because Francis Ray Academy has been a great sponsor for us for this event. Sarah Automotive is also getting involved. They will be out on site. And also MBS International Airport and Bouncing Bellas are the ones providing the bounce houses for us. And our Easter Bunny photo booth is going to be sponsored by Freeland Sports Zone Summer Camp. So that's great to have them involved this year. And then we also appreciate that Caboclo Credit Union is going to be helping us out with our stage sponsor and making sure that we have some fun activities going on out there.
Spoken like a true general sales manager. Thank you very much. I got to take a break and, pay some of the bills with your advertising, and we'll be back with more as we are talking to Carrie Gustafson, our general sales manager at WSGW. And I'll tell you what, we're going to give away some of her money. Time to play Baseball Bucks presented by Stone Specialists. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is diamond. They play baseball on a baseball diamond. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. You must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists on WSGW.
While you're comfortable inside, weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
The will of a farmer is like no other. Forged by the strength of generations past, propelled by the hope of what lies ahead. Unpredictability cannot shake its resolve. It wears a coat of courage. Boots made of love for the land. At BASF, we support you with tools for tomorrow. New chemistries, seed traits, and technologies. Because we know the world's future will be fed by the will of a farmer. BASF, helping you do the biggest job on Earth.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit ZipRecruiter.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
This should end it. Scope out. Ray is in. Scope makes the catch, and the Tigers win the season opener.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW. From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Show Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Back with you on Focus here on WSGW, and just a moment here. I'm pushing the wrong button. That's why. There we go. Anyhow, let's tell you that we are talking to Carrie Gustafson. She's our general sales manager, talking about the Kids World and. Carrie, is it all filled up, or is there room for others to participate?
Yeah, so we are actually still looking for some vendors that would like to get involved, especially if there's any local nonprofits that would like more exposure or would like to come out and be a part of the event. So if anyone is interested or has a business that they would like to get involved, they can give me a call here at the station.
I would make a suggestion, and I don't know whom to talk to, but one of the animal shelters, kids love animals. You know, if you get one of the shelters to put up an adoption area or something like that, it might be neat.
You know, it's funny that you said that, because we're actually working on that. Terry Henney's been working on something for us right now along the lines of, you know, it's Easter, so bunnies, ducks, like that kind of a thing. So yes, hopefully. And if anyone is interested in doing that, especially like you said, the adoption angle of it, we would love to be able to help out with that too.
So if someone's interested in being a vendor at the event, what do they need to do? Who do they need to call? You.
So they, yes, that's correct. They can call me directly here at the station. And my number here is 989-752-34. It's extension 3018. So extension 3018 will get them to my line. They can leave a voicemail if I'm not in. And we would love to get back with them and see how we can get them a part of the event.
So let's talk for a minute about marketing and broadcast marketing, because you know, in the old days, people went out and sold radio advertising. It's really changed, hasn't it? It's a different world today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, one of the neat parts about our radio stations is that, you know, we don't just sell radio anymore. You know, we have to also get where our listeners are and how to get the information out. So we have digital components. So if you know, are looking for how can you reach that niche market on the internet, or you know, I always say those stalkers, crazy ads that follow you around. We do that too, Art.
Yeah. I've learned a whole bunch of new terms over the last few years, and I'm not even involved in it. Geofencing and things like that. I don't know what that means, but I know it works, and that's and our staff who are, you know, we used to call them just salespeople. Now they're integrated marketing specialists, because they have to understand all that stuff, don't they?
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that that we really can handle all of your marketing. We can do the streaming ads over TV, down to the ads that we were just talking about, and then traditional radio. And I think the thing that people don't realize is that you still need that traditional radio component. That's what helps drive it and helps people be aware of your product and service when they do see those digital ads. And that's the neat part about our team. They're very well rounded. We have a lot of experience here. They've been here for a long time, and they literally can help you with any part of your marketing campaign that you need.
The neat thing about it is it puts together a complete marketing picture rather than just one little piece.
Yeah. And we don't just, go out and just gone out and sold, here's the spots and how many need to be on there. We actually sit down with you as a marketing consultant and go through a process where we find out, what are your needs? What do where do you want to grow in your business? And then how can we help you with that? Because it's not going to be the same for every business. Everything is going to be different. There is not one thing that we do that is the same for the next person.
If you want to be a vendor at our Kids World on the 16th at Fashion Square Mall, or maybe you want to find out about advertising and marketing, you can give Carrie a call. Again, it's 989-752-3456, extension 3018, 3018. And Carrie, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks, Art. And I will try to put a good word in on you for the Easter
No,
Bunny
I'll
costume.
bet you will, but don't worry, it ain't going to happen.
Thanks, Art. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Carrie. Bye-bye now. We'll take a break, be back to close out and find out what's happening in the marketplace from Baird & Company.
Capoco Community Credit Union has you covered this summer for any of your lending needs. Home improvements, you're covered. Patio furniture, you're covered. How about a vacation?